Best advice for getting a mining start. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and today I just want to have a quick chat about a blog I wrote over the weekend about the best advice to getting your mining start. And the best advice I've ever heard is to go where employers have no choice but to hire new starters and give them what they want. Now, a lot of people get confused by this. They don't end up going where people have no choice but to hire new starters. They end up going where the employers have choice, and they use that choice to bring in new starters on low wages. And the areas of the industry that are doing that at the moment are iron ore, coal, some of the big hard rock fly and fly out open pits, shutdown work and construction work. And the way that you can tell that these areas of the industry are able to choose is because the rates are going down. Like, you only have to look at shutdown workers. Sort of 5 years ago, they were making $80 to $100 plus an hour, whereas today it's $40 to $60 an hour. And the only way you get a drop in wage like that is if you've got an oversupply of people. So if you have a look at the areas of the industry that they've got no choice but to hire new starters, it's hard rock underground, exploration, and some small pit-based work around mining towns that they're having. If you're prepared to move to a mining town, you're probably able to get on a small pit around town. But the majority of the work is in hard rock underground and exploration. And the example of that is, 5 years ago, a truck driver was making $320 a day underground. Today it's $550 a day, and all the jobs are going up in pay. It's just that there's a lot of work on at the moment in copper and nickel and gold. They're all reaching new highs or levels that the owners of the mines are making huge amounts of money, and that allows them to go and buy and poach people, and the wages go up, and that's what happens. And that's how you can tell where you're going to get the best chance of getting your job. If you're trying to get a job where wages are steady or they're going down, it is what it is, and you'll struggle. And even if you do get in, what sort of career are you going to have? Whereas if you go where it's on the up, that's where the money is and that's where the jobs are. Now, how do you give the employers what they want? Someone who knows how the mine works. That's pretty easy. If you have a look at the sponsors training, the DIY package or the win-win or the work ready, they all go into great detail about, or they all contain this online portion that teaches you how the hard rock underground mine works, and what you're going to have to do specifically as a nipper, a truck driver, an offsider, or a member of service crew. And it goes into so much detail. It allows you to talk to the employers of the mine about how their mine works and show them that you've got an understanding of what you're getting yourself into. And from the employer's perspective, they do turn over a lot of people that go in green, a lot of new starters. And so if you know how their mine works, and all they have to do is teach you how to drive the truck and get some couple of weeks of practical experience into you to get you up to speed, that beats the hell out of bringing somebody in 100% green. That you not only have to teach them how to drive the truck, but you also have to teach them everything else that's in this training at the same time. And it's no wonder that so many people, it's just information overload, and they fail. And it's not anybody's fault. It's just, when you go in on the employer's timeline, you're into the sink or swim training that it turns into. Unfortunately, with hard rock underground and exploration, both areas of the industry, they do go through a number of people that when they go in green. Most of the industry average is 3 in 5 failed in the first 6 months, and you're sort of only left with 2 in 10 after the 2 years. And it's like that because it's hard. It's not easy work, but I always find that people often get into it without having a good understanding of what they're actually getting themselves into. And so it's a two-way street with learning the training. A lot of people, it gives them a pathway in, but for a number of people it also gives them a real eye open to what they're getting themselves into, and they often decide that mining, or this type of mining, is not going to be for them, and it allows them to move on with whatever they want to do in the future, which is a good way to go. And it's not a lot of money to spend on finding out whether it's going to be for you or not, and if it is for you, then there's a clear pathway in for you to follow down. So I just wanted to let everybody know that this is where the jobs are at the moment, and if you're trying to get into this area of the industry on one of these 12-month or 2-year traineeships, then it is sort of what it is. You're going to be competing against 10,000 other people. Whereas if you're heading to Kalgoorlie and you've got one of these courses, you've got the course under your belt, and you know which way's up, then you've got a really good chance. Most people that hit Kalgoorlie end up with a couple of job offers in the first couple of weeks, and that's what you're after. You're after getting yourself in and understanding what you're getting yourself into, so you can make it past that 6 months and make a career out of it. So I hope people found that information helpful, and if you've got any more questions that you would like answered, I'm happy to answer those questions. And if you could share the video around and like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.